All right, everybody, welcome. Get comfortable. Grab that next cup of coffee or a nice glass of water, a beverage of choice. We'll give it a minute or two to get a few more people in here, and then we'll get started talking Linnworks, in particular order management. So I'm really happy to have you all here. Oh, I see 12 people already in the meeting. Not only are we happy you're here, we thank you for being on time. All right. Give it just a little bit longer. See if anybody else is going to make it in. All righty. We'll go ahead and get started. Um, First and foremost, thank you all for being here. My name is Bill Peden. I am the global manager of solutions engineering here at Linnworks, and happy to be with you all today. Um, Today, this is a new segment that we're kicking off. What we want to do is just provide a look into our software and talk a little bit about the benefits that it can bring to businesses of all sizes that are trying to get control of your inventory management, your e-commerce business. What we're here to do is to try and help provide some automation to your processes, making things a little bit easier, as well as some clarity knowing what you've got, where it's located, where you're selling stuff. We just want to kind of try and present a central hub to all of your different elements of your e-commerce business. So that way you've got one place you can go reliably to figure out your inventory quantities, all of your orders that you're helping fulfill for your customers. We want to provide that one-stop shop. So we're going to take a look at that here today. Um, for some of my listeners out there that are currently users of the SKU Vault platform, which is another product that we sell here at Linnworks. For you guys, happy that you're here as well. Give you a peek at Linnworks and some of the different functions and features that exist there. But one thing that my SKU Vault listeners are going to want to stick around for is kind of the back half of this time together is going to be really focusing in on our order management system, our order management software. And that is a module that we are rolling out to be used in tandem with SKU Vault here in the upcoming weeks. So for any of you SKU Vault users out there that could benefit from a little bit of order management in your day-to-day operations, we ask you do please stick around because the second half of this is going to be particularly pertinent to you guys. So excellent. All right. Well, that being said, why don't we go ahead and just dive right in to the platform. As we go along, if questions come up, we've got a Q&A section here in the Zoom. Please feel free to drop those questions in there. I've got my friend Hunter Gaultier, who's going to be in the chat answering some of those Q&A that come through. And if there are any that are particularly pertinent for the wider conversation, then towards the end, we'll kind of call those out and walk through them all together. And then also, if we get to the end of this and there's a bit of time left over, just any general questions that you guys might have, feel free to ask those and we'll try and get to them. If there are any questions we don't get to live here today, then trust that we'll follow up with you guys and be sure to provide those answers in the days to come. All right. Excellent. So where I like to begin with Linnworks is going to be here on our channel integrations page. So, much like any IMS out there, right? This is going to be the way with which we're able to integrate and interact with your different sales channels or other bits of your tech stack that are going to be pertinent to your IMS and WMS. You can see here, we connect to all the major players in the market, your Amazons, your big commerce, your back market, Walmart, eBay, Etsy, pretty much all the major places that people are selling in e-commerce today. However, what you'll also find is a whole host of other, I don't want to say niche, but maybe just a bit less common or maybe a bit more particular to certain regions of the world or countries. Be that as it may, just lots of different ways that we're able to integrate with these different marketplaces and channels and get your products in front of more people. And that's really what why I like to start here, is just to illustrate that not only are we an application that can integrate to where you're selling today, but we're also one that can be a great tool for growth. As you're trying to get your products in front of more individuals across greater markets throughout the world, Linnworks is a really powerful tool to be able to quickly and easily put your products in front of those different groups of people. So I like to start there. I also like to point out that with Linnworks, a cool feature that we have is not only are we able to connect to all these different places in terms of selling, but we also have the ability to create a fulfillment network within our software, right? So as we see businesses growing and expanding, continuing to push into new markets, one of the key benefits or I would say key considerations to doing so is being able to not break the bank on shipping, right? It's helpful to have our products maybe in different areas so that way we can deploy those orders and get those products to our customers quickly, efficiently, and cost effectively, right? So leveraging 3PL networks, drop shippers, having suppliers fulfill orders for us. What we're able to do is ensure that we've got a great customer experience. And what's wonderful is that with Linnworks, this can be that central hub, kind of that air traffic controller, if you will, making sure that those orders are going to the right fulfillment place, whether that's based off of inventory availability, location, whatever the parameters are. We can easily get those orders where they need to go for the correct and appropriate fulfillment method. So, like I said, we've got all these different channels we can integrate to, different locations that are housing our inventory, and then we can assign those different locations to the different channels. So, for example, if I'm selling in the Amazon UK market and I've got a 3PL over outside of London that's holding a bunch of my products, well, maybe I only want to keep my Amazon UK account updated with inventory just from that 3PL. I don't want my inventory here in Nashville, Tennessee to show as available to my UK customers because I'm just going to get crushed by shipping costs. So instead, I can map just my UK 3PL to my Amazon account in the UK, so that way we're keeping that inventory integrity is high, and we know exactly what we've got and what markets they need to serve. So a lot of possibilities with the platform. Great. So having looked at a couple of different places that we integrate with, now I want to go ahead and take a look at how we store your products in our system here on the My Inventory page. So here on the My Inventory page, this is where we're going to list out all of your products. We're going to list out some inventory quantities. We'll go through a couple of those different ones and what those represent. And we're also going to be able to house all of your product details, all of your product information. We can store all of that here within the system. So again, you've got that one-stop shop. Not only can you see your products and their inventory quantities, but you've got full total access to all the different elements and characteristics that go into your products, and you're able to alter those or amend those at will here from the system. So first, let's talk inventory quantities. So you can see here, I got a number of different fields that are listed. We can capture, these are customizable in the sense that we have a number of different fields that we can show or hide. The ones that I have here in my default view, these are going to focus strictly on my inventory quantities. So what I want to know is what's in stock, what's low in stock. It's just going to get my head around what I have here in this warehouse. So you can see here, my stock level. This is just going to show what's on the shelf currently in the warehouse. This is going to show me the exact number of units that I have at this time. In open orders, if I've sold some of these products, right, but I haven't gotten a chance to ship them to the customer just yet, we're going to capture that here in this in open orders column. And then for this available column, this is just going to show what we actually have available to sell. And this is the number that we're going to see on our sales channels at any given time, right? So great example here. I've got 71 of this memory card. I've sold one of them, but haven't gotten a chance to send it to the customer just yet. But that's okay, because in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to update all my sales channels. So my Walmart, my Amazon, my Shopify, all the different places I'm selling, that there are only 70 left that are available for sale to my customers. So again, not only are we tracking what's on the shelf in your warehouse, we're also tracking what you actually have available to sell to your customers based off of the products that are currently in open orders. We'll keep that accurate across all of your sales channels, and we'll do that in near real time. Now, about every 5 minutes, we'll be sending those updates to the channels. Now, I mentioned this earlier when talking about our different channel accounts, but a really cool thing about Linnworks is not only can we track products in your warehouse, but we can also track your products and inventory in the other warehouses that your product is stored. So you can see here, I've got this tracked column. If I click on this, it's going to show me all of the inventory that I have in my default warehouse. It's also going to show me all the inventory I have at Bill's warehouse. So I can see for across both places, I can see precisely what I've got at any given time. And then here I can switch locations. So if I wanted to go and see all my inventory at Bill's warehouse, I can swap there and I can see I am fully stocked up. I've got plenty available currently at this warehouse. I'm good to go over here. So again, not only are we managing your products at your current spot, but this Linnworks is really a global tool, right? We're able to kind of provide that one-stop shop where you've got total access to your inventory anywhere it's located. If we need to move products between locations, we can go ahead and generate warehouse transfers right from here. If we needed to create a purchase order and go ahead and reorder stock, it's as simple as selecting the products that we want to reorder, and then we can restock. If we want to bring it just back up to my minimum quantity, which is a number like, let's say, for that graphics card, right? I want to always have at least 100 in stock, right? So if I go below that, then I want to go ahead and order back up to my minimum stock level, right? So get me back up to that 100 really quickly. Or, we've got some great forecasting features within our system that you can have access to if that's something that you're interested in, where we can go ahead and do a smart calculation for you. Well, okay, based on how my daily consumption rate, how often I'm going through products, and based on the lead time for my suppliers, how long will it take to actually get product to me? We can take into consideration some of those different parameters, and we can make recommendations for you, based on sales history, lead time, velocity, seasonality. We can take all of these into consideration and inform you, hey, based on our algorithm, we believe that this is the amount that you need to order so that you're not missing out on any sales, and we can continue to grow and increase that revenue and profitability as we're moving forward into peak season. So a lot of options, a lot of possibilities that we can do. We're just going to touch on some of those today. But we'll save some of the deeper dives on some of the different features of the software for a future live demo in the months to come. So today, main focus on order management, but we'll still take a look at a couple other things before we hop over there. Now, I mentioned previously that, here on the My Inventory page, this is a great look at just kind of a snapshot of your warehouse, where things stand. For me, here, just kind of taking a look at all of my inventory quantities at my default warehouse. One thing that's really great about this screen, however, is that we can change views in such a way that we're looking at our products based off of the type of functions or actions that need to be taken, right? So if I wanted to look at these products based from a lens of forecasting, right? I can create a view that's going to show me, my daily average consumption rate and the reorder date that I would need to order products if I don't want to miss out on any sales. If I'm using our listings tool with our software, I can go ahead and view my products from a listings perspective so that I could go ahead and create a listing quickly on the fly if that was needed. A lot of different ways that we can view our products based off of the types of things that we're trying to accomplish. And furthermore, I mentioned this previously, but Linnworks also acts as a place to be a source of truth of your product information, right? So whether that's some basic product info that we want to have here, if we're storing images of products, we can include those right here in our system. If we've got specific a postage service, right? So if I always for this product wanted to use my 2-day US type of shipping, we can select that so that every time this product's ordered, we automatically recommend the specific type of shipping that's needed. Or a packaging group. If this one always gets, a box, then we can go ahead and ensure that that's being assigned every time this product comes in on an order. Lot of different things that we're able to capture here. And what's particularly cool that we'll see here in just a moment is a lot of these different parameters can come into play with our open orders rules engine. So one of the most powerful parts of our order management is going to be that rules engine. We're able to automate a lot of functionality so that way it's truly a set it and forget it. You don't have to tend to your orders as they're coming in all day, every day. Instead, we can create different rules. So specific functions or actions that take place on a regular basis, we can automate those being assigned to those orders, saving you time and energy to focus on other parts of your business. And we're able to leverage a lot of these different characteristics or product details in conjuncture, or excuse me, in tandem with that rules engine, just to make sure that all those actions are easy and streamlined. So yeah, so a lot that we can capture here. We could go into a whole lot of detail about our extended properties, which are, different types of elements that are customizable that we can include about products. A popular one that I like to use, let's say, for example, you sell a product and that product's got, I think it's lithium ion batteries that are part of that product. I believe it's lithium ion that can't fly. Right, you can't send those in any kind of postage in the air. So we could create an extended property that says like, hey, hazardous material or battery or whatever the case may be. So that way, if an order comes through and it contains a product that has that battery, we can make sure that there's no air postage that's assigned to it, that it never, gets a shipping service that includes flying. So that's just one example of how we can leverage different product elements or attributes in conjunction with our open orders screen. So a lot there, but did just kind of want to give a sneak peek of how we would house your products and conceive of your products and all of their product details. So again, we'll dive into that more deeply in future sessions. But today, what we really wanted to focus on was going to be the order management piece. So again, for those new to Linnworks and are just trying to get more information about the platform, y'all be sure and listen up here as we focus in on order management. But also for those SKU Vault users out there that are interested in maybe adding the order management piece to your SKU Vault workflows in the weeks and months to come. Starting now is where we're going to kind of dive into all of that. So before we dive into the open order screen, let's go ahead and take a look at our orders rules engine and kind of get a sneak peek of some of the possibilities that exist there. And I am going to wet my throat real quick. All right, perfect. Thank you. Excellent. All right, so here's our rules engine screen. I've created a couple rules that are pertinent to me and my business, and I will go through these as a couple of examples. But just note that we've got clients that have got tens, dozens of rules that they've created to help run their business and streamline things. So this is a wonderful opportunity for creativity to shine. And for those of you that might be like me and can struggle to be creative at times, we've also got a top-notch onboarding team that works with our rules engine and the software day in and day out. They can make great recommendations for best practices, commonly seen rules that kind of pertain to many different businesses or maybe businesses similar to what you've got. So you can really leverage our team as well to try and get these created just to make your life easier and free up more time and energy to invest in the different parts of your business. But let's go through both of these, right? So super simple example, single versus multi-item orders, right? Let's say I've got hundreds of orders coming in every day, and some of them are kind of that bigger wholesale type orders that might contain, tens of items on a single order. Might have 75 items on an order, and that's a pretty complex order, right? So I would want one of my real seasoned pickers out in the warehouse, walking through, making sure that they're being super accurate. They're creating a pick wave to kind of go through the warehouse, one time, making sure to get everything correctly. But I want one of my more seasoned workers to be responsible for those. Those are big orders. Those are important orders we don't want to mess up. But for my day-to-day operations with all of my D2C customers, right? So those individuals going buying items off Shopify or Amazon or Walmart, oftentimes I've got a bunch of single item orders, and those are really simple. I've got a newer person out in the warehouse that's starting to get the hang of things, but I maybe want to create just a big old batch of those single item orders to give to that person, so that way we can trust that all they got to do is go grab one per order, and it's just a little bit simpler and streamlined of a process. So what I did is I went ahead and created a very simple rule. And so as an order comes in, if it is a single item order, then we're going to give it a single item order identifier. So on the open order screen, you'd be able to see a one, which indicates that, hey, that order is just, a single item order. We can create a batch of those orders really quickly to be able to send the newer picker out into the warehouse to go ahead and start accomplishing those different, picking those different orders. Now, I also have my multi-item order, and so that's going to attach an identifier of a number two to the order that we'll be able to see. So if it's greater than one, we want to be able to lump those orders together, and have a person managing those, and they can make the call. Do we need to do this one at a time for the big wholesale orders? Do we want to grab 3 or 4 of the 5, 6 item orders? We can organize that however is going to make the most sense and best benefit you and your workflows. But one thing that's great is we're able to shorten that process and streamline it by creating a rule that identifies that for me, saving me the time of having to go through and dive in to those different orders myself. Another great example would be shipping allocation, right? So as I've got orders coming in, I can go ahead and make a lot of different determinations based off of those different orders, and some of the elements that I can see based off of where that order originated, right? So you can see as an order comes in, is it from the US? Is it from Canada or the rest of the world? All right, great. An order came in from Mexico. We just want to use our standard worldwide postage that we use for all orders that are originating from outside of North America. If an order comes in from Toronto, great. We've got our 2-day Canada shipping service that we have got that's standard, that we'll go ahead and use that. And then, okay, order comes in from the US. All right, did the order originate from an East Coast or a West Coast location? And I've entered in all the different states that I would consider East Coast versus West Coast. All right, that order that came from California. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and send it to our West Coast fulfillment center. All right, so then, is the order greater than $100 or less than $100? Okay, the order is greater than $100. Perfect. So we've, guaranteed next day shipping for all orders that are greater than $100. So let's go ahead and assign next day shipping to this order. So that way, as soon as we see it on the open order screen, we already know the exact shipping service that we're going to use to send this order to the customer. So we'll go ahead, pick it, pack it, print that shipping label, and send it off. No problem. So again, just one possibility of how you could leverage the rules engine, right? Whether that's flagging hazardous materials, whether that's determining the shipping service you want to use before the order, as the order is even getting to you. If maybe we've got a few different fulfillment centers and we want to route this order to the fulfillment center that's got the most inventory in stock. Okay, great. Let's send it to our Texas location because that's where we've got the lion's share of our product right now. Just tons of different ways that we can automate these decisions that again, not only is it going to free up time for you and your staff to be able to focus on different parts of the business, like what's the next campaign that I want to run? Where should I be investing my ad dollars? What sales channels are performing better than others? Again, being able to dive into some of that different business logic or reporting that can help you really grow, save you the time needed to make investments in the business rather than just trying to stay above water. That's what we're trying to accomplish here. And we've got some great tools at our disposal to be able to do that very thing. Okay, so got a number of different orders that have run. Orders have made it into the system. Now it's time to go ahead and take a look at those different orders and see some of the different functions that we can perform once those orders make it to us. So I'm going to jump on over to our open orders screen. And here we can see, again, similar to the My Inventory page. So we can, alter the way that we look at our orders as they're coming in. And we can also do this by location. So currently, I'm in my default location. But if I wanted to, I could hop over into Bill's warehouse and see all the different orders that are supposed to be processed from Bill's warehouse. So able to jump between locations quite simply. And then here you can see that we've got, all of our different orders that are coming in. This is my new view. Okay, so you can see here, I've got a number of different views. These are going to be the orders that have come in, in the last 24 or 48 hours. I think new, I've got it set up for 48 hours that orders are coming in. And then for my outstanding orders, these are going to be any of the orders that are older, right? And you can see here where we've tagged with those different identifiers. These are going to be the single item orders that we've got here. But, this is a customizable screen in the sense that we can hide or show different bits of information if that's helpful. But we can show previews of the products that were sold. We can show the shipping if it's been assigned. So, again, this is my demo account. So I've just been kind of creating a number of these orders for demonstration purposes. But we would be able to capture, a lot of those different things as the orders are coming in and display them right here from this screen. We can quickly see whether or not we've got inventory to actually fulfill this order at this time. And for some of these, you can see these are insufficient to fulfill. And so maybe it would make sense from here maybe we would want to move this order to a different location that's got stock, right? Or maybe we wanted to go ahead and select a few of these and go ahead and create a purchase order right from this screen. And let's see where we go. Process. There we go. Is it here? Hunter, where can I generate the purchase order? I can't believe I'm losing it. Items. That's got to be it. There we go.
Yes.
Add items to purchase order. Okay, perfect. Sorry, I hiccup there for just a second. But yeah, so if we notice right here from the open order screen that we're low on stock, we can go ahead and create a purchase order for those items right from here. Send it off to our supplier. It's already in the works. We should be getting product back in the next few days or week, so we can go ahead and take care of these orders. A lot of possibilities right here from this screen. And so if we kind of dive in a little bit further back to this kind of tree, we can see not only can we create a purchase order from these from the screen, we can do a lot of things to these orders individually or collectively. We could do this for a batch of orders or one at a time, whatever's going to make the most sense. But again, if we need to go ahead and place this order in a specific folder that we create for what's the organizational purposes, we can do so. If we wanted to send this to a different location. So I want to go ahead and send this one over to Bill's warehouse for fulfillment. We can go ahead and send that right away. We can go ahead and allocate or select the shipping service that we want to use. Do we want to use UPS or USPS ground? We can make those calls right from here. We can create a pick wave from this screen. So if we wanted to go ahead, grab a batch of these orders and assign those to a specific picker, or just create that pick wave for a person to go ahead and claim and start working on it, we can do so right from this screen. We can print shipping labels. We can print packing slips. We can print pick lists if we're using paper pick lists to go ahead and fulfill these different orders. Lots of different things that we can do. Processing orders, we can do that singularly or in bulk. If all these orders, we know they've been picked, they've been labeled, they're ready to go, let's send them out the door. Let's go ahead and mark those processed. And those are just, there are plenty of other things that we can do as well right here from the screen, whether that's splitting orders, merging orders, manipulating or making edits to an order. We can do any and all of that right here from this screen. And on top of that, all of those different functions, all of those different features that we can access from here are great examples of different rules that we can create as well. So for example, you can see here, these are some of the tasks that I do, kind of on a regular basis, right? I'm constantly printing shipping labels. I'm constantly creating pick waves for my people to go out into the warehouse, start grabbing the different products so that we can get them to the customer. And I'm also batch processing orders. So we can generate these buttons that exist right here at the top of the screen. So that way, if we need to quickly go ahead and create a pick wave for these orders, we can do so right here with the click of a button, right? So again, just trying to automate and simplify the day-to-day operations that you are spending your time on to, again, save you time, increase efficiency, and ensure accuracy for all of the commerce ops operations that are going on day to day. Perfect. A couple other things to note. We can do filter these different orders very quickly and easily right here. If we wanted to just, kind of really focus in on a specific subset of orders, we're able to do so right from here. And whether that's, the destination where the orders came from, like we were talking earlier, if we want to go ahead and create batches based off of total number of items, we can do so. But just in general, quite a bit of functionality that we have and are able to leverage with our open orders screen. When it comes to processing orders, we can see previously processed orders as well. If we needed to go back historically and take a look, oh, okay, a customer says they got the wrong product when we sent it to them. We can go and find this order back from, a few weeks ago and take a look. Okay, what items went out the door for that order? Making sure that everything is on the up and up. Yeah, so only other thing that I really wanted to focus on here before stepping away and just kind of opening it up for questions and see how things are going out there in the audience's world is just to mention that we can also generate orders from within our system as well. So for some of our clients, their bread and butter is going to be their Shopify store, their Amazon website, maybe some FBA. That's where they're doing the lion's share of their business. But they're trying to branch off into the more wholesale side of things as well. Start to really enable that B2B type of revenue flow. And so for those orders, they might just get phone calls, right? Someone's calling in saying, hey, I need 10 cases of this, or I need 1,000 units of that. Can you go ahead and ship that out to me? So then I would say, yep, no problem, not a big deal. And then right here from within our system, I could go ahead, generate that order so we could begin to start processing it. Wonderful. So, yep, let's kind of recap a little bit before we kind of open it up. What we're able to see here with the Linnworks system is not only do we have a one-stop shop for all of your commerce ops, whether that's, storing your products, your product information, being able to have clear visibility into what you've got, where it's located in the warehouse, and how many you can expect to find there. Not only can we do that for your warehouse, but we can do that for any and all of your 3PLs, your suppliers, anywhere that you're housing product, we can get you visibility into it so that you've got that inventory integrity and total insight into what's going on for your business. With our order management software, what we're able to do is we're able to automate so much of the daily ins and outs, the repeat offenders of different tasks that you're having to do and manage on a day-to-day basis. We can really streamline that and again, free you up But all the while knowing that these rules that are set, they're going to work accurately, they're going to work reliably, so that you can trust the day-to-day operations of your warehouse are going off without a hitch. Able to open up different markets, global markets with all the different channels that we can connect to. And as you grow your business, and again, start to have that footprint in new places, you can trust that Linnworks can provide a one-stop shop for you to be able to manage all those different elements of your business, while having total control start to finish, as those orders are being generated on your different channels, all the way to those orders are going out the door to your end customers. So um, I'll pause there. Would love to know if there are any questions that have come up, particularly with regards to this order management piece. And then, if not, then, we can always just open it up to other questions as well. Yeah. So Hunter, anything that's come through while we've been demonstrating here a bit?
Yeah, a really great question I saw was that was asked was in regards to 3PL warehouses and
Mhm.
things like BOPIS or buy online, pick up in store.
Yeah.
Just in regards to how that works with the order management piece in Linnworks.
Excellent. So, and Hunter, you, you might have be able to respond to this in more detail than I can, but to my understanding, that would just be a type of shipping service that we would assign to the order, so that way we would know for these orders, the customers are going to be coming in store or to the warehouse to pick those up. Is that correct?
Essentially, it works just like that, except it may not be, a quote unquote shipping service, but uh, at the moment, buy online, pick up in store is only supported for Shopify, which is
Okay.
arguably the most common one.
Sure.
But orders will be downloaded with a sort of an identifier, like you mentioned
Uh-huh.
with your rules engine with the multiverse single line
Yep.
items. They'll
Uh-huh.
have their own little identifier showing them that it's a buy online, pick up in store option. And there's an action within that right click or the actions menu in the
Uh-huh.
orders that you can actually mark that as ready for collection. It should be under the process order section if you do have it, but it'll be ready to
Ready to
collect, right?
collect. Yeah.
And that will let the channel know or the buyer know that their product is ready, right, to be picked up.
That's awesome. And Hunter, to your point, say I've got, a great online business and my website's through Shopify, but I also have 3 or 4 brick and mortar locations that are using Shopify POS, right? So to Hunter's point, not only can we flag the order that comes in and say, hey, this order is, buy online, pick up in store, we can also ensure that that order is going to the specific store that the customer is going to pick it up from. So that's a great example of kind of not only the capabilities and functionalities that we've got with the OMS, but also really kind of honing in on that rules engine, not only being able to say what kind of order this is, but making sure it's at the right location, so that we don't have to worry about that. We can trust that it's already going to be there. Good stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And with 3PLs as well, I don't know if you wanted to touch on that, and I could speak on that as well. Uh, your choice.
Yeah. In terms of routing orders over to them.
Yes.
Yeah. Go for it, man. Please.
Yeah. So with 3PLs, we have um, essentially three forms of functionality that exists. We can communicate the order data that downloads from your selling channels into Linnworks over to those 3PLs, where we're able to customize the exact order data that we're sending so that we don't send too much or too little to them. We can send them exactly what they need. We have automation in place to get the shipping and tracking back from those 3PLs, letting us know what orders have shipped with what shipping service and tracking number, so we can effectively communicate that back up to the channels. And then an inventory sync feature, which we can read and adjust the inventory levels from that 3PL to make sure that the source of truth, which is Linnworks, is in line, at least stock level wise, with what that 3PL has. And the
Absolutely.
standard process for those three types of communication is CSV over FTP or SFTP.
Perfect. And that's actually a great thing to point out, because that's straight out of the box. So we have the ability, so long as we can get your 3PLs, your suppliers, so long as we can get that CSV share over an FTP drop, we can provide that all here, underneath one roof. So like I mentioned previously, Bill's warehouse would be my 3PL. I can hop into that location, see precisely what my inventory stock levels are at any given time. And then I could automate, sending to Hunter's point, sending an order over to that fulfillment location, making sure that they've got exactly the information that they need. If they need us to send a shipping label, then we can, be able to push that across over to them and then receive back the information that it's been shipped, and then see the inventory levels adjust as well. So yeah, just to understand, really what that does is that underscores, how a system like ours allows you to kind of grow into a more global company, really able to tap in and have, control over how your products are moving in the different markets. And it can be, asynchronous, right? It's happening all the time, allowing you, just great insight into how your orders are moving, and where your products are stored. Oh, I see a few questions have come through. Any of those worth talking about with the whole group?
Yeah, so warehouse transfers was
Uh-huh.
another good question that's come up. Just in general, handling pallet transportation was specifically what was asked, but maybe just warehouse transfers as a whole, and how that pertains, or how that works from within Linnworks.
Yeah. So to be completely honest with you, what would be the best screen? Would it be the My Inventory screen? Would that be the best one to do warehouse transfer, or would it be going
It'll
in?
be actually under inventory. If you click on inventory on the very
Uh-huh.
top left-hand side, there's actually a
Yeah.
warehouse transfer. So if you click the new option,
Uh-huh.
you may be the only one that has access to that old one, but you're able to create warehouse transfers at the top. A stock transfer request, depending on if you're one of be representing the warehouse that it's coming from or to, and you'll select the two destinations, and then you can
Yep.
add products. You can import products in bulk, through a CSV file, but you can also add products manually here.
Precisely. And once we've selected the products that we need, then we would just indicate the amounts. Actually, I'll just do a couple real fast. Won't hurt anything. We add these items. Then we indicate the amount that we want to send, and then we can move to transit. And so then that would kind of be in transit at that point. And then once those items arrive to the new warehouse, we can do a stock in to get those products on the shelf into the new warehouse. And then, it's as simple as that.
Yes.
Excellent. Now, I do see one question in here. Will this work the same way with SKU Vault? That's an excellent question. So that is the beauty of what we're rolling out with the OMS piece. So access to this open order screen is what you would gain with SKU Vault. So being able to create those rules and a rules engine, being able to see your product at different fulfillment locations, like we just talked through, and being able to route orders to specific warehouses in SKU Vault is going to be some brand new functionality that we had not had up until now. So up until now with SKU Vault, an order comes in, it could be fulfilled from warehouse 1, it could be fulfilled from warehouse 3, from warehouse 5. We've got full visibility across everything within SKU Vault. By layering the OMS on top of SKU Vault, we're going to be able to indicate, okay, this order needs to be fulfilled from this warehouse. And then the other warehouses will not be able to fulfill that order. It will be able to be assigned. So that's some cool functionality that we're going to gain with SKU Vault that we haven't had up until now. Not to mention all the automation possible with the different rules, and some of the different features and functions that we've seen here today. Wonderful. Can all of this be done on the API and or if we don't use Shopify? So yeah, so the order management pieces that we've been taking a look at today, that does not pertain just strictly to Shopify. Any channel that we're integrated with, those orders are going to be coming in, and we can perform all this functionality with that. And to your point, we do have an open API, and so without we would need to know exactly what you're trying to accomplish via the open API. But so long as we have the endpoints to support the type of actions and things that you're trying to do, you can absolutely leverage that open API to try and customize different things or create different possibilities with the software. That is 100% a possibility. How many inventory locations can you handle? I don't, Hunter, is there a limit, a location limit within the system? I didn't think there
Not that
was.
I'm aware of, but to be
Yeah,
honest, I haven't necessarily tried
right.
importing, kind of testing that limit,
Yeah,
so to speak. But at the moment, I would say no. There's not really a limit to the amount of locations you can handle,
yeah.
or that Linnworks can handle.
Yeah, and even if there were, I don't believe 40 would be close. I think that that would be a safe number if you are between storefronts, 3PL suppliers, all that good stuff. I think that we could handle that load for sure.
Mhm.
Um, okay. Uh, so the I see a new order. Can you create a B2B order by uploading the order via template? Yes, you can. You can upload open orders. That those can be imported. So if you've got, a CSV file that's got, a large B2B order that's got all the different products and the amounts, you can absolutely upload those straight in if that's going to be helpful, which obviously saves a lot of time if you've already got it in that format. Don't need to recreate the wheel. Um, and then how do you typically exist along an ERP? Um, Great question. So that is a very specific question. It would probably merit having a more in-depth conversation directly outside of this meeting. But just long story short, what many people will do is they will use Linnworks as the mechanism with which they connect to all of their sales channels and marketplaces. So orders are kind of collating into one spot. They're doing all of their order fulfillment out of Linnworks. And then at the end of the day, we are either updating the ERP via CSV, FTP swap. We can update with current inventory quantities. So, we want to inform the ERP, hey, these changes have occurred. Or, it is possible to integrate the two systems more intimately, like via an API connection. So if orders did need to pass along into the ERP or have a live inventory knowledge within the ERP, we could do that as well. Typically, not typically, that would certainly merit customization. So again, a much greater conversation. But we do have clients that are using us in tandem or in concert with an ERP. Um, and yes, so stock levels in those two systems, we would want those to match up. So typically that would be done either via an API connection or over an FTP swap, would be typically how that's handled. All right. Um, are there any other questions that we can run through? As I know we got about, I think we scheduled an hour, not thinking necessarily it would take the full amount of time. And what, while we're all here though, if there are questions, want to be sure and get to those for you. Um, and yeah, before we kind of wrap things up here with our first live demo. All righty, going once, going twice. All righty. Well, guys, I want to thank you all so much for taking the time to be with us here today. It's been a pleasure to kind of talk through Linnworks, show a little bit of its capabilities and functions, and we've just barely scratched the surface um, with what we're looking at here today. Please, continue to watch this space. Feel free to snag this QR code and reach out to us if you'd like to schedule conversations about how we integrate with ERPs or if you've got more specific workflows that you're interested in and how we would accomplish that or solve for that. Please let's get some time together and go into more detail. But yes, watch this space. We're going to continue to have these monthly, and each time we'll have different persons presenting and different topics that we'll kind of particularly focus on. But we hope to give a brief overview of the platform each time, but then taking pains to really focus in on some specific functionality as well, just giving you a bit of a taste of all the different possibilities that Linnworks can provide. Alrighty. Thank you again to all the participants. Thank you, Hunter, for your help and your knowledge. We will, if there are outstanding questions we need to follow up on directly, we will. But otherwise, thanks for your time and have a great rest of your day.